Hey peeps, how are we doing? We're live. Right, let me get on to Facebook. Let me have a little gander on here. So let me know if you're here. Okay, I'm getting up Facebook on my computer so we can have a chit chat because I can't see it on my phone because it sucks. Right, let's do this. Okay, Pop Her Academy. Let me know if you're here, guys. I'm super excited to chat with you. Okay, so this is a chit chat Q&A. I'm a little bit nervous and I'll explain why in a minute. Right, so if anyone's wondering what's on my top, by the way, is anybody into my, the Big Bang Theory? I love that show so much. So sad when it ended. But yeah, it's the Big Bang Theory, so I love it. It's comfy, it's warm. It's cold. Why does it feel cold today? It's not even that cold. I think 17 degrees. I know, my Australia peeps, you're like, you need the whole fire thing on. But that's not actually cold for here. So I'm a little bit concerned that it's, what I'm going to feel like when it actually is cold. Right, hang on. I'm chit-chatting away and I'm not even getting the screen up. That's what happens. Hey, Joanna. Oh, stars already. Lovely. I haven't even started, but thank you so much. I so appreciate that. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Catherine. We definitely have lots of Joannas and Kathys and Catherines going on. And Jen's, actually. Jen's a very popular one. Now, I apologise. I haven't updated the board yet. And I know there's a few of you that have joined the membership, and I know some people I need to add to the Facebook stars bit, especially if you've donated. Is it donated? Just given me stars? I don't really know. I think some of you get stars for free. I don't know how it works. Anyway, but I love stars. I have a star. Well, I have star tattoo all the way down my back. Did you know that? Probably not. Anyway, I've never seen it. Do you think I'd like it? Oh, good question, Kathy. I don't know. I don't know if you would like the Big Bang Theory. I think that's what you're talking about. It's my cup of tea, but I'm not sure it's going to be yours. I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure about that. I don't want to say because no, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're into. Like, yeah, weird. You need another board. Yes. So I'm a little bit nervous. I want to just say right now, okay, is that I may upset some of you, okay? If you're easily offended, I would just leave, okay? I am going to be talking about some things that may trigger some people, okay? So I'm putting that out there now as what's the word? Can't think of the right word, but just give you a moment to shift off my page if you're easily offended and you think I might upset you, okay? Because I may do. I may actually do that. I'll see if I can find an episode later. Oh, Kathy, I love it, but it's just funny. It's just a good comedy. I love it so much. So yeah, hey Katrine, how you doing? So lots of things to talk about, okay? I've had loads of questions. Obviously, you filled in the form for me, so thank you so much, because there was a lot of information on there that I've grasped, and I'm like, wow, such a huge range of just different questions on there, different what you want, what you're willing to do. Like, it's just amazing. Hey Emma Jane, how you doing? I'm a secret follower. Love your politics, you're amazing. Oh, thanks my love, thank you so much. Oh god, don't upset me, I'm barely alive as it is because I've just done pop circuits. No, I think, Kathy, I don't think I'll offend you. I think you'll be fine. So, but I do want to talk about wording that is used, because for those guys who have followed me for a little while or have recently followed me and have received some of my emails recently, okay, I am going to say it about my weight loss journey, okay? So if you don't want to hear this, you know what to do. And it's been really mind-boggling and eye-opening about the word, I think it's the word weight loss, because if I said I hope it doesn't disconnect me. That came up then saying it was trying to connect. I was like, oh God, here we go. So if I said to you, I'm working on my nutrition, people don't really bat an eyelid. It's like, yeah, awesome. Everybody should work on their nutrition. And it's so right. But because I said I'm working towards my weight loss, which is my journey, okay, it's something that I want to and need to achieve, but through a healthy aspect. And I think it's because nutrition, weight loss is associated to diets. I'm not on a diet, but I am sorting my nutrition out. So it's been really mind-boggling and, like I said, eye-opening to see who, the amount of people that have been upset by me sharing that journey, because I think nutrition is important no matter what your journey is. And this is what I said in my follow-up email, right? Is that it doesn't matter where you are, you should take the information that's provided and run with it with your own life. So if I've talked about weight loss, okay, that's about nutrition. So maybe I should use the word nutrition. So if you need to keep up with maintaining, whether you're looking to do competition training, maybe you need to increase your muscle mass, whatever it is, it comes down to nutrition. And that is related to your pole journey. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, I'm not interested in it because I'm more interested in pole, but I'm like, that's why I'm doing it, so I can get better at pole, because I've got too much fat stored in my body. It's simple as that. So yeah, I'm sorry if I have offended anybody about using the word weight loss, but that's what I think it mostly comes down to. Whereas really, I'm trying to get across that nutrition is really important. And like I said, I may come across, that I'm not thinking as everybody as a whole, but I'm trying to share my journey to help others, if that makes sense. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much. Yes, I think that is, it should be the focus. Anyway, so that's that little bit. And I don't really want to go on about it, but that is why I'm doing it, and it's been really interesting because we talk about like macros and stuff and hitting your macros and getting enough protein in. And, I know we talk about, being in a calorie deficit to lose weight, because obviously if you've eaten more than what your body needs, then you are going to put on weight, which is what I did, especially when I got pregnant. I was just eating everything I could get my hands on and not moving very much. So hence why I've now got this store of fat. And so I'm doing something about it through nutrition. And so if you're offended by my term of weight loss, I do apologize, but that's the way I'm going with it. And of course, you can always just bypass that information if you like everything else. I know nothing about nutrition, hun. I keep gaining, losing and gaining. Cool. So, Emma, are you on so with the result of this, I now have a separate list for nutrition. Okay. So I talk about nutrition, which includes weight loss. Okay. If you're not on there, let me know and I will add you to that list, and anybody else who wants to be added to that list, I can just send you the emails out of like my progress and what I'm doing. Okay. I'm not a nutritionist. We do have a nutritionist section on our portal, which was created by a nutritionist, and a body weight competition trainer, who also does pole. She's fucking epic. So, we have all the information we need to be healthy, and to follow. Okay. It's not just willy-nilly hoping for the best. Not there. Would love to be added. Awesome. Can you send me an email or send me a Facebook message, because I will forget by the end of this live. At least then, if it's popped up for me, I can't miss it. I don't understand why anyone would accept pole is strength, and it's the only workout that I've ever done that sticks. It's helped me grasp my health and create a mindset. And this is the thing, there's lots of things that connect to your progression in pole. So not just about nutrition, but a mindset as well. And I think this, a lot of these things come down to mindset. And also with what I'm talking about, if you don't relate or you're not happy with what I'm saying, I'm probably not the best person to follow. I'm like not your tribe. I like to get my tribe together. So to be honest, the more people that unfollow me, this probably sounds really rude, and I don't mean it to come across this way. So if you think this is rude, maybe I'm not your tribe, okay? But if the more people that unfollow me, the better, because that means only my tribe and the people that like me in the way I am. I don't need to hold myself back. I don't need to feel like I'm going to offend somebody. I don't feel like, I'm going to upset people, because they're my tribe, So if there might be certain things that you like me for, and there might be a lot that you don't like me for. And if there's a lot, then, find somebody who fits for you. And, it won't be me, we can't get on and like everything about each other. but there will be somebody you grasp. So what I'm saying is that if it's not me, that's absolutely fine. There are so many polars in this world, instructors, and you may find somebody that works for you. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. But we need to find each other's tribes, right? And not just, you know, stay with somebody because you like some parts and not all parts, in my opinion, because then you're just going to have your backup with some things, and then you end up like having to type out some negative stuff, and then you're in a negative mindset. And I'm not into that, you know. I don't want you to be in a negative mindset because you're, you know, something I've said. I want you to be in a positive mindset. So find your tribe. Let's have a little go. Look what's going on here. Hi Kelly, hats off to you for wanting to get healthier. Do you find your pole moves are easier to do when you are lighter? Absolutely, 100%. And depending what I've eaten in the day, if I go to train then, will make a huge difference. So I know, like if I've just eaten crap and, you know, fish and chips or something, because you know me guys, okay, look at me. I'm not stick thin. I don't have, you know, a six pack or anything like that. I like crap. And there's, you know, that's just simple as that. I like my cake. I like shit food. And I'm doing my best to work on that. But I've always had a sweet tooth as well. But I notice when I've eaten cake or if I've had fatty foods and then I get on the pole, I am so sluggish. And I also have I don't like to say shit training session, because I don't believe that you ever have a shit training session. I just don't think you're having a very effective training session. I think you can do better when you've eaten healthy. Makes a huge difference. And also because I have put on the weight since being pregnant, I'm heavier now. So I do find transitions a little bit more challenging. I do get out of breath a lot more. And for me, because I was smaller before, I can feel folds in my body when my body fat is stored. When I do certain moves, I'm like, oh, I hate that feeling. And I'm like, oh, so for me, so this is my personal journey on the reason why I'm like, oh, that's like a folding of fat here, like, because I'm trying to hook or I'm trying to get in or whatever you. Now, if you're used to that, like, it won't make any difference to you, you know, because you'll just be used to that feeling and you've always done that for the pole. But for me, I was smaller before. I actually worked with Kate, our nutritionist, who provided that section on the portal if you have it, just before I got pregnant. And I got down to my goal weight, and I did really, really well. And then I got pregnant. So I need to get back to it. Right, let's go. What's going on here? Agree, I'm in Kelly's group more for nutrition than weight loss, as I'm already a healthy weight, but others in the group say they are overweight and so want to lose weight to be healthy. We're all different, and we all have different goals as well. But for me, that's why I'm doing it. Oh, cool. Hey, Diane. A couple of Dianes as well. Diane Weber and Diane Hendricks. Hey, guys. Yeah, okay. So let me know if you've got any questions as we go along, all right? So I've got a little list going on here because there is a lot of content to get through, and it all basically comes down mostly to the form that you filled in. So I'm super grateful for you doing that, because it helps me figure out what I've missed or what I need to repeat, because sometimes, actually 99% of the times, I can talk about something and you may not have consumed that information because you don't need it right then, but then give it a week or two, you need that information that I said 2 weeks ago, but because you didn't consume it, you don't think you know it. So then, you know, so repetition in what I need to talk about is key, and saying it different ways as well will help you. Also, a bit like learning pole, you know, you can go to several different instructors to learn the same move, but we all teach it very differently, and you'll grasp somebody that you'll be able to learn with really well. And I think it's important to find that person. Anyway, I'm not coming off because I'm disinterested. I will watch back. Have a nice evening. That's all right, Emma. I'll forgive you. Not offended at all. I'm joking. It's just my sense of humour. So what was I saying about that? I lost my way. I don't know, what was I saying? Distracted me there, Emma. Distracted me. Right. Yes. Okay. Talking about the form. Yeah. So it was really helpful to be able to see what I need to talk more about. And like I said, repeating things, go and find different ways about talking about it, relating it to other things will help you learn. Cool. Alrighty. So another thing I've seen quite a bit. I didn't complete the form as I'm already making progress at home. Awesome. No worries. That's fine. It's actually really interesting how many people people say they want to progress but are not interested in investing in their education. That was mind blowing to me, but that's also down to a mindset issue, because I used to be the same. It's like, well, I'm not paying out for it. I can get some information free on YouTube if I want to. But that also relates to another thing that seemed to have come up, is injuries. People are like, oh, I can't join yet because I'm injured. Oh, I injured myself on pole. Oh, I've pulled my back, or I've torn something. And I'm like, that's kind of why you need to invest in your education, because you are injured. You shouldn't be getting injuries. Yes, sometimes injuries do happen, okay, but with the amount that I'm seeing, that really scares me, that you lot are getting a lot of injuries, especially when you're not, you want to learn in a progressional order and a progressional way, so that you're not training something that will cause you injuries, because you know what your prerequisite is. So you build up in stages. I'm all about stages, guys. Building up from the beginning, not skipping bits ahead, not trying to get upside down. The amount of people I see just trying to get the little toe on, and I know I've upset people about that as well. It's like, well, I actually had somebody talk about, I don't know if you saw my invert training tips and that, and in one of them I was like, why you shouldn't aim for your toes to get to the pole, and it was all about getting your knees up, and the reason why is getting your hips up, because that's what you're aiming for. When you aim for your toes, your butt stays down. You may progress eventually, but you won't be effective at all, and you'll just be learning to swing. So, and I had somebody say, well, I only have one, like I've only got one studio, so I've only got one instructor available. I can't go anywhere else, but she does teach that it's okay to kick up as long as your hips are in front of the pole. And it's one of those things, isn't it? Now, I've never said a kick up isn't unsafe, but it is unsafe if you don't have the control. And for those people who are beginners, most people don't have the control. Like, once you've got that control and you'll be able to get up, mounting up in a safe, controlled manner, then a kick up, or I call like a sweep up rather than a kick, because it's controlled, is absolutely fine. But what I see too often, even if people's got the hips in front of the pole, is they try and get that leg as high as they can, and they bash their calf on the pole. And I'm like, oh my God. So I bet some of you have had epic bruises, and you know the reason why I know that? Because that was the way I was taught. I was taught to kick up, and I didn't know any better by then, and I did get rib injuries. So I'm passing on my knowledge to you, and what you want to do with it is up to you. Okay, if you want to continue learning from somebody and you're happy with that, that's like, I'm not, go with what you want, okay? But I'm just passing on my knowledge to you, and you can take what you want from it. Yeah, cool. Alrighty, let me know if you've got any questions as we go along. Hopefully I'm not boring you too much. Share it and tag your pole pals as well if you find any of this helpful, if they've got questions, and then you can just ask away. Then just ask away. Cool. What else have we got going on here? Let's come back to that. Oh, I can hear my boy is crying. He's not too well today. Yeah, injuries, but you're not investing in your education. I think that's where I was going with that. Is that I think you need to change your mindset, or look at why did you get injured? Is there something that can help you progress and build your strength to minimize injuries? And that could be actually working through a progressional program. And sometimes, some of the feedback has got, well, I can't afford to join or purchase or whatever somebody else's membership because I pay too much out on classes. And I think it might just be time to actually reevaluate the amount of time you're at your classes and the results that you want. Are you getting them? Because if you're getting injured, or you need to work on a progressional level, I'm not saying give up your studio. What I'm saying is, can you go drop down a class so you're able to invest your money in another way with another instructor, maybe a private, maybe a membership, a program, a course, or whatever, to be able to do and still achieve. So for example, some people join our program, our ultimate progression program, because it's laid out in a progressional order. Now they may be advanced at the studio, but they all start from the very beginning in my program, because they still want to attend the studio. They still like to learn the awesome tricks and whatever they're doing at the studio, some crazy ass stuff. But they know they have a lot of weaknesses and foundations they haven't mastered to make them a better poler. So they start the program, they start from the beginning. So they drop down like maybe a class or two, still go there, great social aspect as well, but they still work on their program at home, and great use of your pole, right? So I definitely think reevaluate what you're spending your money on, so that you can make sure that you can put it elsewhere if you need to, if you're not getting the results. And it's absolutely okay to change. Any studio who is not happy about you going to other studios, or learning from other instructors, I would have that as a massive red flag. I really would, because what I'm saying is not everything I'm saying, should be taken as whatever. Like, I've got one way of teaching. Some people like it, some people don't. And I think, like I said before, you need to find your tribe, your person to follow, like the person that you can learn well with, you understand with, you grasp it, and you're like, yes, I've got this, I understand it now. And sometimes you will need to try a few people before you find that. And what I'm finding now is like people, because when you're new, you don't know what you don't know. So when you've got an instructor who's teaching you, you think they're like the best thing since sliced breast. Since sliced bread. Because pole is freaking awesome. But if you don't know that actually they're not teaching the right techniques, then you're not going to know any better. So I definitely think broaden. This is a great thing about social media, is you can learn from so many people and actually think, oh, I haven't done that before. Oh, that makes sense. Oh yeah. And then realize that you need to adapt your training. Okay. You're responsible for your own progress. So it's completely up to you. Just about to go to my pole lesson, so we'll watch again tomorrow. All right, Emma. Have fun. Hopefully you learn lots. Let us know. My pole studio pays by the class and has $5 Friday. That's cool. I pole with you 4 lessons a week and 1 class at the studio to keep my connection with the people there. Absolutely. So many people love the studio aspect for the social aspect, for sure. The amount of our students, well, you can actually ask them. Our members usually say, I learned so much more with you in your program learning at home, but I still go to the studio because I miss that personal connection, like with other people. It's social, isn't it? We're social creatures, and I totally understand that. So yeah, cool. Agree. I had an instructor who didn't like me going elsewhere during PPA. I don't understand that. It's mind-boggling why somebody would not want you to learn from other people. Like, do they not learn from other people? Is that like, surely like, the more we can learn from each other, the better. I don't understand it. I really don't. I don't understand it. It's very cliquey in studios. That's what I don't like about studios. It can be very cliquey. You're either in the clique or you'll know if you're not. And it can be horrible. But I don't know. But if you love it, then you've got to continue, in you. You've got to do what you love at the end of the day. You've got to do what you love. Pole education is very interesting, as when I went to a studio, never received any ideas of what I should be doing at home off the pole to aid progression in class. Isn't that something an instructor should do to keep clients? Anyway, this is what hang on, let me see if I can see more. This is what I particularly love about your program. Oh, thanks, Diane. So I suppose, with the studio, so it's very different from, I went from having a studio myself to just being a home pole studio. So I literally just teach people around the world now. So my teaching and what I offer is very different to what I teach. What I teach in the studio is very the same, but the clientele is different. So I usually have most people have done pole for like a minimum of 3 months before they find me. Whereas when in a studio, usually you get brand new people. So it's very different. So for a lot of people, they join for the social aspect. They've got no pole at home. They just go for fun. A lot of people go for fun. And I bet a lot of instructors will relate to this, but you do so much, or you try and keep everybody safe. Obviously we do, working in levels, right? You're not ready for that yet. Let's work on this. Okay, you're a little bit more advanced. Let's do this. And you can go around the room and you can try your best, especially because it's mixed ability I'm talking about. A lot of studios do mixed ability. And I get it, because for as a business, well, Laura is, I don't know what the right word is, but as like for a business, I understand mixed ability will work because then lots of people can just drop in when it suits them. So as a business model, I understand mixed ability works as a business model, okay? Because at the end of the day, they're a business, they need to make money. But as a progressional way, levels all the way. Levels all the way. But yeah, when you're in a mixed ability class and you're trying to make sure everybody's catered to, and you're teaching somebody at advanced and then you've got a beginner who you've just shown what to do is now copying what you've just shown to the advanced, it's like, oh, it's so hard. It's so hard. So some beginners don't do it to progress, they just do it for fun, if that makes sense. They just want to try and wing themselves upside down. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. And then others are there to learn for progression, especially if you learn in levels and you've got a pole at home. But I definitely would, if you've got a studio that you go to and you've got an instructor, there's no reason why you can't ask, hey, I'd love to try and get this move improved. I'm really struggling, obviously, in class right now. What would I need to do to improve this at home? And ask them. There's no way. They should not be going, well, I'm not telling you. Get another instructor if they do. Jesus. They should be able to show you some floor-based moves that will work the same muscles to help you engage in that kind of thing, for sure. So never be afraid to ask. They might say, hey, like, you know, absolutely, let's create you a plan that you can do at home, but book in for a private lesson, okay? So you may have to invest. Everything you do with your pole education is an investment into yourself, okay? It's not wasted money. It's, you know, you should look at it as this is going to help you get to where you want to go. It makes you feel awesome. So let's do it, okay? If you drink alcohol, let's reduce that alcohol money down and spend it more on fitness, something, you know, pole related. Go. Cool. It's easy to do pole and conditioning sessions on UPP because it's so much cheaper than paying a studio for 3 lessons a week. Absolutely. It's amazing how many people actually have said, you know, because the Mission 500 that I'm doing is about helping you guys, okay? Helping you at home. I'm providing these lives completely free. I'm obviously not charging you. I'm doing it on Facebook, adding them to YouTube. So you have this access to get some help, okay? At no cost to you. Of course, I have a shitload of lessons that I've created over the years, okay? Because I started pole at least a year, probably a year before COVID hit, and I started it a year before that whilst I still had the studio. So, you know, we've been going for a few years now. So we have a lot of content and it's always being worked upon. So I've now packaged some of this content into what I've called Mission 500 memberships, okay? And each month I'm offering something cheaper than I've ever offered before, okay? I've never offered these type of memberships, and definitely not at these price points. But I wanted to offer something to you so that you could you could take on something that was something more, you know, I know the times are hard right now. Times suck, don't they? Like, everything's gone up. I get it. I'm in the same boat as you guys. I am feeling the same effects that you guys are. But I wanted to offer something that you could grasp that was cheaper so that you could still make progress and access the content, which is what Mission 500 is all about if you wanted to invest in your education. Those who invest in their education, like, you know, if they're investing some money and time, they're going to reap so much results from doing it. Those, when I offer it completely free, and this is the thing, guys, is I bet so many have like just saved all the videos, and I bet you know that loads of people won't even look at them again. How many things have you saved on Facebook or Instagram and you've not looked at them since? Okay, because you haven't given it, it's not valuable enough to you because you haven't invested into it. It's something free, like, oh yeah, I'll check that out later. Same with challenges. Most people don't complete challenges just because, you know, they haven't, you know, physically invested into it. So like, what's the point? Does this one make sense? Speaking of ongoing cost, got to go. I've got a cost of living webinar. Awesome. Nice one, Kathy. Enjoy. No worries, Joanne. Oh, thank you, lovely. I'm glad you're part of the tribe. Absolutely. So yeah, so I think when it comes down to cost, so I had a couple of people like, oh, can't you just offer everything really cheap? And no, like, you know, at the end of the day, this is what I'm saying. If we're not investing, like, if you're not investing in it, you're probably not going to do it. And I want to try and help those who are really serious about doing it and getting better at it. And you know, it's the same with everything. It's priority, isn't it? We have priorities in our life. Like, I would love a huge farmhouse with lots of land. I would love to have a little doggy business and also have a studio there that I would have, you know, host pole workshops and flexibility and all that good stuff. Okay. But nobody's going to give that to me for next to nothing, you know. So right now I have to stay put where I am because that's the situation I'm in. In the future it may change, but right now I've got to take what I can, and I've got to live in this house because that's what my money allows right now. And because we all have to make priorities. You know, it's the same with, like, I don't know, think about I don't know really good brands because I'm not really a brand person. But say Gucci, okay? I'm going to say Gucci. I don't have the right, you know, right thing, but, you know, do Gucci's do like purses and stuff like that? This is literally, I don't know. But say like Gucci did a purse, and then you get a similar looking purse at Tesco's. Those guys who purchase the Gucci has a priority because they want that brand over those guys who don't and go to the Tesco's own make or something. Do you know what I mean? Their priority is that. So they will pay shitloads, thousands of pounds for a purse that looks like something you can get at Tesco's for a fiver, you know, because that's their priority. And that's just the way they are, and that's what they devote to. So the same like you guys, like, you know, you might be paying loads for private lessons or something. Maybe you're going out every night, maybe you're getting takeaways, maybe it's having to reevaluate what you're doing to be able to get something that you want if you can't get it at your current cost. Does that make sense? And we all have to do that right now with the energy crisis, and it is just the way it is. Hence why these Mission 500 memberships are available to you if you want them. Now, another question I said is, am I going to put the charge up once Mission 500 ends? Are the monthly memberships going up? No. If you join on a monthly membership, or it doesn't matter what you join us on really, as long as you stay a continued member, your membership will stay at the same price, no matter what. If you leave, that membership is not going to be there for you to return to at that price. Okay, we have other memberships available, but they're going to be at a standard cost. So if you want to stay with us for a long time at that cost, then get booked in and stay with us. Okay, I'm not going to change it. Don't matter, you know, even if it's a couple of years time, if you're still on that membership, then so be it. Okay, we've had people that's been on the membership now for 4 years, and I have never put their price up. And I never will, because they've been loyal to me, and I will always recognise loyalty, and their price will never change. So everybody who's joined us are on a different pricing scale anyway, because I always offer something different. You know, the memberships will offer certain things, and then some people have joined both, and some people will continue to do that. That way you can just cancel one and still keep the other, whatever you need. Anyway, I'm going to shut up about that. If you've got any more questions about that, please let me know. So another thing, so please let me know if you've got any questions. No, not yet. Okay, cool. Let's have a look. Overwhelm came up a lot in this, in the form. Like, what are you struggling with? I'm feeling overwhelmed. I feel like there's so much that I need to do, and I'm feeling so overwhelmed. Like, I just don't know where to begin. Oh my God, I so hear you. You're a polar and you want to do it all, okay? You're like, oh, I need to do the bendy moves. I need to work on flexibility. Oh yeah, but I need to work on my flow. I need to get my stuff linking together. Oh, I need to build a strength because I need the stamina and the strength skills to actually link moves together. You need to do it all, right? I totally, absolutely, 100% understand where you're coming from. This is actually why I created the Mission 500, the Ultimate Progression Program that some of our members are on, because it goes in a progressional order. You will need everything on that portal at some point, not right now. And it basically takes away all that overwhelm. So you will work on everything in time. You just follow the programs. Brilliant. Okay, literally one lesson at a time, and you will learn everything you need at the right time where it's not overwhelming. Because if you try and do, because I bet some of you've tried to do so much as it is, and you're not making any progress in anything because you've not been able to stay consistent every week doing the same things, because you basically would need to do it as a full-time thing and nobody really has time to do that. So break it down. figure out what you need to learn first. Okay, obviously if you can talk to me about, if you want to have a look at the program, have a look at the program. Remember the program, again, going back to cost, guys, people think it's expensive, but if you think you've been polling for like, you know, 3 or 4 years, you've probably already spent like 6-7 grand at a studio, and you've probably not even worked it out. I bet you go and work it out. If you're charging like, you know, if you're paying like £12 a class and you're going 2 to 3 times a week, work that out. So yeah, go and check it out if you are struggling and you want to progress at home and also want to save some money. And let me know if you've got any questions. I look forward to speaking to you on that. And what else do I have written down here? So injuries, motivation. Oh God, guys, this is the thing. Motivation, I believe, comes down to a lot of planning. So I think, you know, when you've got a plan. So for example, if you go to class, sorry, not class, if you go to work, for example, okay, you've got to be there at a day and a time, right? You know, you generally go, okay, I've got to be at work, at the office, whatever you work at, 9 a.m. So you get up each morning, whatever time, you go to work, right, at 9 a.m. And you know what to do. You just go and do it. Whereas with pole, you kind of need to do the same thing. Okay, so to get motivated is knowing what to do. It generally comes back down to this overwhelm as well, of not knowing what to do first. So having a plan is really important, because that will help you stay motivated. Also, another great motivation is to be able to work together with somebody, whether that's a pole pal, you know, a community, whatever that is, because like everybody is working together, especially if you're working on the same things. To be honest, one of the things that we're doing at the moment in my little nutrition group is a lot of us have Fitbits. There it is. And you can do like with a Fitbit, you can like go onto trails and you can like, you know, increase like calories and, you know, like walking steps and stuff. But you can do it with your pole, with your Fitbit pals, like you can just invite each other. So yeah, a couple of doing it at the moment, and that's really fun because that helps you stay motivated, because it flags up, oh hey, your friend so and so is now ahead of you, and you're like, let's do it. So that's kind of cool. Motivation as well. If you have just joined us, we are doing accountability. It started yesterday, which means that each week, if you want to be on it, I've got a tracker, and every week you're to train. So again, it's also keeping motivated, that knowing that I am going to come for your ass if I haven't seen your training. And again, that always feels good. And I'm going to try and do some motivational talks most morning, literally like 5 minutes, just to get you set up for the day. So come and join. Studios are expensive when you have to pay for a babysitter. That's freaking true, Katrine, right? So you don't, if you've got a pole at home, no more babysitting. Yeah, no more babysitting fees. That's amazing. Yeah, stick them into bed, get your polling on. Let's do it. And don't have to pay for it when you're at home. Happy days. Yeah, it works out a lot over time. Yeah, so if you're paying out for a babysitter and paying for your class and paying to travel there, especially if you drive, especially with the fuel gone up, Jesus Christ, mount all that up. Mount all that up. Just stay at home. Of course I'm going to say that because, okay, I'm biased. I have a home pole studio. I teach people all around the world. So of course I'm going to say that. But, you know, just have a little thing. Just reevaluate. Just have a look where things are going. Are you progressing the way you want? Cool. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that is most of the things that I had written down. I'm sure there's loads more, but I'll be able to go through the form, and I'll be taking the information that you've given me, and I'll create like a list of what we're going to cover each day. So others was like, oh, can you not give us like, you know, some moves to do every day so we can do something? Yes, but I'm not doing that on Mission 500 because that's what memberships are for. You can have access to everything, because the thing is, if I start doing like lessons, like everybody's going to be at a different lesson. So with our lessons, you don't miss any foundational skills, and that's what I'm big on, you know, is like you need to know the basics. So start with our beginner module, beginner lessons, start from the very beginning. Make sure you've got the right technique, make sure you've got the gripping points, make sure that you've got the skills to progress, rather than just going to or dropping into lessons and not having the skills needed and basically hoping for the best. Everything is done, for us, is done in a progressional order. If you obviously want to drop into pole studios for lessons, then absolutely go for that. Any other questions, guys? Are we all good? Have I bored you to death? I'm so sorry if I have. But yeah, that's what's on my list right now. I can't see anything else randomly right now. I don't know who this is, but love the Pole Power Academy. Thank you so much. Also, are you doing pole silks by any chance? We used to do pole silks. So I still have hoop lessons, but our focus right now is pole. Generally because, again, I'm a home studio. So the majority of people can have a pole at home. So like my pole client base is so much more, so I focus on the area, but we do have like a whole load of foundational pole aerial hoop lessons, because I do have, well, that little thing up there, and I've got hoops on the wall, so I do hoop stuff. But silks, I haven't done silks for a long time, because I found, like, you know, when you're trying to do a little bit of everything, you don't really have a focus area, and then you don't really get good at a certain area. And I really wanted to get good at teaching pole, so hence why I just focus more on pole. But we do obviously have the hoop stuff. But again, like I said, I don't focus, which is why I haven't done too much hoop, because I'm like, my focus right now is to get you guys fucking awesome at pole. Because most of us can have a pole at home, so that is what that is all about. Let me see if there's anything else. So yeah, in terms of your question about silks, no, haven't done any home silks for a long time, because the other reason is, like, with the hoop, just like a pole, that object doesn't move. With silks, I'm a little bit more weary of teaching at home, in case, because it's about wrapping and those wraps are going to keep you safe. If you miss a wrap and you do something at home and you don't wrap properly, I am going to freak out. I would be horrified. So at least the only time I really taught, obviously, silks was in the studio, and I can physically see what you're doing. And I also can spot you as well. So I'm like, let's make sure you have got that wrap, and slowly ease you into whatever move that you're doing, rather than just hoping for the best and hoping that you've got the wraps right. Does that make sense? So I definitely feel like silks is definitely better to be taught in person, and that's why I haven't really done it, because I did have questions about, am I going to do some silks books? And as much as I would love to, I just think being able to show that well enough, again, it's all about being safe. And I just don't feel I can. So I keep focused on pole. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, people could get stuck and no one to support you. Yes, like, you can get stuck in silks. How the hell are you bloody going to get out? If you're just hanging there, if you're just doing it at home, oh my God, no, I can't. But I think there is a silks online site. I'm sure it popped up on my Facebook, like, a year ago. I'm sure somebody else was offering online silks lessons, whether that was Zoom lessons, so that would be okay, because if you're doing one-to-one Zoom, at least that they could focus on you. But I don't know if they do. I'm sure somebody has done recorded lessons of silks, but I haven't done that. Okay. My kids get better than me because they are not scared of swinging around the pole. I don't trust myself enough. Oh my God, kids are annoying that way, aren't they, Katrine? They just get on it. Like my niece and nephew come here and they're like, okay, can I go on the pole? Can I go on the pole? Can I go and climb the pole? And they love climbing up the pole, and they like touching the ceiling and get as high as they can. Bless them. It's like, yeah, all right. Right, what else we got going on here? Let me just have a quick gander whilst we're here. Hopefully you're still here, you guys. Let's have a little look. Let's have a little look. Let's have a little look here. I received I'm not spending good. Okay, so somebody has wrote this. It's anonymous. If it's in my group, I need to know who you are, okay? Because I don't have any shit in my groups. As simple as that. Anyone who's causing problems gets booted out. I'm assuming this isn't in my group. Let me see. It says, okay, it's anonymous, so hopefully you'll know. The only person who knows this will be the person that writes it. I've stopped posting in the group because I'm honestly tired of getting picked apart by the other members. I'm a beginner. All my practice is in work in progress. I received unsolicited advice to take a month off the pole to strength train. I'm not spending good money each month on the program to not use it. My pole time unfortunately has to wait until late evening, as I worked all day and tend to the housework. Not every move isn't going to be perfect in every single way, but I've posted the vids because that's what I agreed to do. Show I was doing it. The constant criticism is no for me. So I would love to know who you are, because I've not seen any criticism. So if you post in our group, we're going to give you feedback. That's what it's all about. If you don't want feedback, say no feedback wanted, because because the group, if this is in my group, by the way, the group has a lot of, a lot of the members in there that do give feedback have been with me for a long time. So absolutely, they're gonna say, hey, if you do this, if you try watching that video again, because a lot of the time, sometimes it's just technique, and most of the time it's the technique that not getting it right will hinder your progress. So by all means, if it's in my group, they mean nothing by it. And if you think otherwise, please reach out. I would love to know and to help you, so that we can make sure that you keep progressing. So the best thing to do, especially if any of you guys really who are part of the program, and you don't post, we can't help you. That's the thing. So you're again just hoping for the best, whereas at least when you get feedback, you're like, that makes sense. So many people have said to us, somebody said, like, for example, like a receipt, my hand was too high and I didn't realize it. Somebody said move the hand down, which we often quite do. Like a lot of people have their hand too high and they end up spinning. Move the hand down and boom, you'll get it. And absolutely, it's going to take time to get. But yeah, taking all the tips on board is going to be really super beneficial, because I think one of the things as well, and I'm saying it earlier, is that you are not going to consume everything in one lesson. So I can say, this is what I tell my students all the time, is that I say something once, or I might say every session they do it. So if they're doing a particular move and they're really working on it, I will continue to say the same things to them. And it might not be until the 12th time I have told them the same information. That 12th time is then when they've taken that information on board, because you can only consume so much. So yes, so a lot of people, so for example, if it's a skater pose, thinking about being a beginner, a skater pose, if you're pushing with your shin, you're focusing on that positioning, but you end up pulling and using your bicep strength, you're not working on the skater move, because we work on the lats, we want that arm strength straight, but you might not have got that information there until you've done your practice. Okay, so practice is part of our program as well, and hopefully practice is part of your any of you guys doing lessons. You want to make sure you're practicing the moves that you've just learnt, and you'll re-watch the video and go, there's the arm grip, that's what people were talking about, that makes sense. Does that make sense? Hopefully so. So yes, I'm all here. Please reach out to me if you are stuck with anything. You can send me a private message. Absolutely, I'm here to help you. I don't have any shit in the group, so any criticism as well, you can always mark it, you can always flag it to admin with anonymously, and we can always review it and we can have a chat. But yeah, hopefully hopefully that helps for anybody who's in any group, really. It doesn't matter what group you're in, like, you should always feel supported, and the support sometimes comes from people helping you, and it might not always feel like people are helping you, but I think again that comes down to a mindset issue. So again, let's make sure we have got that mindset into play, and let's reach out to each other to help with that, because if you're offended by something, why you're offended, we need to get to the bottom of it. Because sometimes, like when somebody says, I don't know about you because I do it all the time, somebody says something to me and I'm like, how dare they say that to me? Especially if they say, oh, you shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that, and my instinct is going, I bloody well am, does that make sense? And sometimes we get our back up without even realizing. And actually, it isn't until you come and like really think about it. Sometimes I have to rein myself back and go, why has that really outraged me? Like, why has she said that, or he said, told me not to, or whatever? Why has that got me outraged? What is it? What is the problem with that? And then solve that issue. Because it's not always necessarily of what they're saying. It may be that it's come across another way. And this is the thing with groups, guys. This is the thing with groups. Everybody's going to be upset with somebody at some point in a group, right? Because what is being said can come across as rude. I get this. I've actually had this as part of my members. People have thought I was like being really rude. And I've been honest now, I've actually had a person completely like shut down, blocked me, deleted her account, everything, because she took what I said the wrong way, because it was on text form in the group. She just completely took what I was saying out of proportion, and it was like, whoa, hang on, I meant nothing by that, but she took that as a different way, whether she read it in a different tone. And again, this is going to come down to your positive aspect as well. If you're in a negative mindset, you'll automatically read everything really negatively, and you'll already think people are at you. Whereas you think more positively, okay, what would they get from saying that? Probably nothing, actually. Okay, if they're not actually getting anything from this, then why would they say it? Well, if they're my friend, if they're here to help, then maybe I should actually look at this a little bit deeper. So yeah, it definitely can be a mindset thing, but everything takes time. Mindset takes time to change, but repetition and almost like catch it in the moment, if you know what I mean. But it's like people say, I can't, oh, I can't do that move, I can't do that move. If you continue to say you can't, then, you will never will. Simple as that. If you've trained enough to be in a negative mindset, you can totally switch it around to be negative. So the minute you start saying something negatively, say 3 things that's positive. You need to get around that. Okay, we need to go, hang on a minute, I don't want to be in that negative state. Let's find the positive. Don't know who that was, or don't know if this is helpful to you or anybody else really. But yeah, let me know. Let's see who else is going on here. Nothing there. I'm just looking for the questions at the end. Some people haven't asked questions, which is fine. It's always anonymous. Building strength without boring weightlifting. Okay, don't know who it is. Don't have a name. Okay, that's fine. So you don't need. So actually, I think somebody wrote in the members group as well. I think somebody did. I'll have to go and check to see who it was. It might be the same person, but you don't need to necessarily, if you're thinking about, when you're saying lifting weights, do you mean like with a barbell? Is that what you mean? Because I don't do any of that. I think weight training a lot of weight training for poles should be your own body weight. Does that make sense? So like you can do so much for your own body weight, and maybe some ankle weights just to add some resistance. Use resistance bands. But yeah, no, weightlifting is not for everyone. It's like boring for a lot of people. Pole isn't boring. So maybe do some pole conditioning and off the pole training, but with your own body rather than weights, if that makes sense. Let me know. I find everybody wonderful, good stuff. I'm glad, because I won't have any shit, guys. I have booted out a few people over the years who are negative or think they know it all, and it comes across rude. If it comes across rude to me, you best your bet you're off. Doesn't matter. I record reading something about weights. Yeah, I'm sure it's something flagged up before I came on live. Somebody said it for something about weights, and I've just come up. But yeah, I don't think. Of course, if you do weight training, it's definitely going to be beneficial to you. But if you find it boring and you're like, oh my god, I just don't want to do it, just don't. Just do some body weights instead. Body blast, core blast, all the stuff in the structured lessons in the portal. It's been designed to help you with pole. And like I said, I do have some dumbbells. There are some dumbbell workouts in there, but you don't have to do them especially if you don't have any, obviously. But there's so much you can do off the pole that I don't think you have to, especially if you don't enjoy it. Like if you enjoyed it, great, but don't force yourself to do it. Okay, I think that is it for now, guys. Yeah, okay, cool. Right, I'll go through that and make a list anyway. Right, I am going to shut up because I've been talking forever and yeah, nearly an hour. I'm sorry this was so long, but hopefully some help to you. Please let me know. Hi everyone, sorry it's been a long day. Mostly, oh bless you, sleeping this bug is, oh bless you, hopefully you get better soon, and I will see you tomorrow. Watch out with what's coming up next, because I'm going to write my list out. We'll find it. If you are not in our WhatsApp group and you want to be, please let me know. Actually, I'll put the link on the top of this video so that you can get it as well, and you can just join it. Then you'll find out what I'm planning to do, and it's right there on WhatsApp. Not like Facebook, it gets the algorithms means you don't always see everything, which is annoying, just is what it is. But at least with WhatsApp, you'll always get a notification. Might annoy some of you. I know some people are like, oh, I've not had enough of that, let's go. But if you just want to know what I'm up to, you know, you can always join that. Anyway, have a fantastic day or rest of the evening, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.